Good evening, ladies and gents. We're just about to get started here for the Green Hell. It's gonna be a doozy, but you're gonna love it. Welcome everybody to the iRacing Fanatec GT challenge here at the Nurburgring Nordschleife Gesamtstrecke 24-hour layout. This is the first time I've ever seen the Fanatec GT challenge split, but it's happened. It is 18 racers in top split. You can finally say that the Fanatec GT challenge has a broadcast split. We're not cheating like we did before, where everybody was just clumped into one session. You love to see it. You love to see it. As always, I'm joined by Craig King. Craig, good evening.
Good evening, Rob. Cool. It's great to be here for history, isn't it? I'm really liking this. It's fantastic to see, and also what's really nice is seeing how we've got this full lineup. Well, multiple splits is we get to see practically every car bar, literally a handful, have not set a time. I mean, to just quickly go over, one car in the GT1s, it has not set a qualifying time. 4 cars in the GT2 Fords did not set a qualifying time, but it is so weird to say that we have a split in the GT challenge, the Fanatec GT challenge. It's crazy. It's fantastic for the series, though.
Yeah, it just gives a good indication that we're going in the right direction. Everybody's going to be happy. Everybody's going to feel good about themselves. Well, except for those that are not in the broadcast split. So qualifying times have just gone up on your screens. We are getting lined up for the start of 13. Oh, well, sorry, it's 5 laps of the Green Hell.
It's 5 laps. A little bit of trivia if anyone wasn't aware. Originally it was 6 laps, and then they discovered that no car could do 6 laps on a single tank. And as this is a 30-minute race, they thought it was just fair to basically get rid of that because they didn't want any pitting. So the VEC guys, some of them are here. But on the top, the number 1 car in a Corvette, Andreas Valantages, followed by Merrick Blom. In fact, actually, when you look at it, there's not a lot of VEC guys. What do I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's about 5. But we've got some PSRs in the field tonight. A Dominic Gross and a Finn Marks.
Yeah, they're locked at the second row. It's interesting to see that you can see VEC. There's so many VECs, it's so stacked. But then you see Paiva. Paiva makes a return. Good luck to him today as they're going down towards the line to start 5 laps of breakneck racing. As you can see, the Fords are in the split. There is 7 of them. We'll get back to them once they start having their foibles. But we have the GT1s coming around now on towards the GP circuit. Craig, it's all yours.
Here we go. They come out of Tiergarten, now back onto the GT circuit. Valenteus is holding them, and now he goes. He goes well, and it looks like there's going to be single file. Blom wants to get the slipstream. He will do. Meanwhile, Gross and Marks takes third and fourth. They can be coming down into the first corner very shortly. We see the Progressive Sim Racing taking the inside line, not getting well. And it looks like it's that they're both holding themselves up there, and it's that Muller's managed to get around the number 7 of Finn Marks. Can't hold on to it, but meanwhile, at the back of it, everyone's got out pretty cleanly at the back, and it looks like Raidillon has lost a couple of spots there. He's near the back. Meanwhile, we get onto the forwards very quickly. Overgaard is in a freeway battle. They're 3 wide going down the straight from Tiergarten. Now they're 2 wide. That is Overgaard and Walkup. Sorry, they're not the straight. They're coming down to the Coca-Cola, but it's Overgaard, Walkup, Bass, and Williams. So not much changing at the front so far.
GT1s and the GT2s obviously are split by speed. I think the GT1s will definitely have a real easy time on their hands when they go around, so no issues to report from there, and they'll just be, well, they'll try to make it around as quickly as they can. But we're looking at, you can ignore the time, by the way, the time is just there just to make sure that the session doesn't run over a million miles away. 5 laps. Ooh, that is Ethan Bass going very wide, coming through GP. Where was that?
Oh, he's lost it. I think that is Michelin. Is that Michelin? It's just before the Woolstein curve. I think that is Michelin. Can't be 100% sure. Gets back onto the track. He just lost the back of the car. He's now 4 seconds behind Matthew Boyce at the back of the field, but not doing very well. Meanwhile, the GT1s have hit some back. They have hit the green hell itself, and guess what, folks? This isn't the N24. The Nurburgring is dry for this race. You don't have to worry about any puddles. Don't have to worry about losing it. You're only going to worry about losing it yourself, as we saw with cold tires with Ethan Bass, and Walkup's also had a moment. Stefan Walkup's had a moment. Now, what's happened there? He's going into the entrance he took too much curve coming out the S's and then lost it. He went to the S's and just lost it there. So he's now at the back with Ethan, and Matthew Boyce has joined them as well.
Here's a replay of what happened to Stefan Walkup. He was fighting Stefan Overgaard. Oh, touched the grass, and the grass did not agree with him. Slid quite badly. Ooh. He was thinking that he had enough time to rejoin. He didn't, but he's now slotted into 5th position, and will have to fight his way back up.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on everything going on now. One of the things I always have said around here is when we watched this last season, it was the VLN format, so it wasn't the 24-hour format, so they weren't doing the full GP circuit back then. They are today. It's a case of there's not going to be a lot of overtaking on the green hell. It'll be waiting until you get to the Dossinger Hoe, and I think that will be your best moment. They can send it in, but they don't really want to risk it. You can see Finn Marks trying to attack Hope there. Not much he can do at the moment. At the same time, then you've got Gross trying to get by Blom, and really it's quite weird because you've got these VEC guys, you've got the Progressive Sim Racers, and who's in front? A guy in a Garfield Corvette by Andreas Valenteus, who's doing really well. I think that's the first time we've seen him in the series.
Absolutely,
it's the one car for a reason.
Yeah, it's that's the first time I've seen that name and that car. Oh dear. It's still not as great as the Kerchow car that we saw at the charity event a few weeks ago. Sorry.
Don't.
Lofton mentioned Kerchow. I had to remember, you know? It's ingrained in my memory. Oh, sorry, that's Felipe Paiva. Felipe Paiva has gone in way too deep. Look at this.
And Menentry. Menentry's gone with him. No, it's Paiva trying to go into... Oh, no. Paiva went too hard. What corner? Where was that? I think that was... Was that X-Mull? I think that was X-Mull. I'm not entirely sure. Yes. It's X-Mull, I believe. Yes.
Well, that is... That as...
Menentry's got a lot of damage and he's struggling. I don't think he's going to be able to get it back. I think he might have to tow. What about Paiva? Paiva's got away with a lot of damage, but it's still going. Meanwhile, I saw some damage to Thomas Blankenship in the Fords as he'd gone down at the pecking order. Ethan Bass has recovered to P4. Stefan Walcott's recovered for P2. And it looks like Stefan Walcott's having a battle here. That was P3, sorry. Stefan Walcott's having a battle right now with Brian Williams, and Brian Williams gives it up. And now Williams is going to have to just be careful. He's even given up to Ethan Bass. So Stefan Walcott and Ethan Bass spun out on the GP circuit. And we're not even halfway through Nordschleife, the Green Hell itself, and they're back in P2 and P3. 19 seconds away from Stefan Overgaard, though.
And you can see just how dangerous this track is. That is not, that would fit. You could squeeze 4 cars, through this section as they're going up the hill towards Carousel. Is Bravery Corner. Oh my Gideon. Oh my Gideon. Oh my Gideon. Oh.
How many times do you have to say, my giddy on? I think your arm's a bit too giddy. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Even Bass is holding on to Van Walker, though, as they're coming down into the... He's got a little bit wide, Bass. They'll be coming into the carousel. Please don't take it too wide. Please don't take it too wide. Just stay in the thing. We saw the number 4 Mercedes. Sorry, Adam Christo. We saw them have a spin out here last night. 20 for the real life. No issues with these Fords, despite they are really not enjoying it right now. They're pushing it around, but it's so hard for them at the moment. Meanwhile, at the front, we said Jeremy Hopp did gain P4 for Finn Marks. What's happened to Razan Ahura? Razan Ahura is now sitting in P7 because of that damage. Piver's got by Rosano. Rosano's got a lot of damage. Piver's got a lot of damage. Menentry is now off pace. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's got some suspension damage.
Yeah, a lot of them have...
Yeah, he's got suspension damage. Yeah.
Phil. I don't think Phil Swift can fix that. He can fix a lot of things. He can saw a boat in half and put it back together. But these cars are carrying Paiva. It looks like he got away with the majority of it, even though he really overextended what he could do. He touched the curb, and then the brakes were just like, I'm not going to work as brakes anymore.
Valentinus is almost 3 seconds ahead of Blom, so in theory he's kind of checked out in the moment, but the gap between Blom and Gross is a second. What does that mean? We're on the Dossinger Ho. There's the 28-kilometer mark. I mean, that was the 28. It went too fast for me. So there will be some slipstream for Gross. Dominic will be able to catch up, even with that little pushed in back. Even that little damage at the back he's pushed in. So the gap's really at the moment about 4 seconds, 3 seconds there between first and second. Less than a second now between second and third. Then third and fourth is 6 seconds, and the battle there between Hopp and Marks once again. Will he be able to come in again? Marks got the same damage on the back of his car as his teammate Gross, but unable to catch up right now as the GT1s come through Tiergarten and will start lap 2 of 5.
It's actually pretty quick, actually. By my reckoning, we'll be done and dusted. If they were doing their current lap times just on the tip of 40 minutes, which is not too bad considering the average length of the race is 30 minutes. And you also have to remember, they didn't do qualifying, so essentially they're finishing at the same time. Snakiest Carrot, apologies, by the way, said just slap that flex tape on there.
It is, and here we go. Menentry has gone into the pits.
I mean...
Menentry in the pits, yes.
I mean, look at this damage.
And Rosano. Rosano in the pits.
That's a lot of damage. And that's a bit of damage. Yeah, the two of them have had quite a numerous amount of scuffs and bumps, and the two of them are going to need to get that repaired. And if they can even, theoretically get it done in good order, but they'll both be in the pits for a little while they get that fixed.
Gross had a bit of a slide there going up the hill after the Schumacherettes just corrected it. Sorry to interrupt there. Just corrected it in time, but that was a big slide there. He lost time on Blom though. That's the only thing he's got to worry about. And at the same time, let's address. We talked about one car that doesn't have any team brandings apart from Garfield, because Garfield is the best. Let's go spicy for some Doritos with Dan Muller, who is catching on to Finn Marks. doing his best to do what he can. Really getting a lot of pace. A good exit coming out of the GP circuit there, catching on to Marsh. He's got Morian behind him as well. So if he can just hold on here, just see what he can do. That would be a battle for 4th and 5th, and if you throw Morian into it, you know, that's sick. But Morian's got his teammate Raidillon behind him. So that will be interesting to see as they come through Hatzenbach. Just weaving through, and it's so nice to see these. I think it's because they are identical cars in terms of liveries, and they're just weaving through Hatzenbach in the S's with like almost identical. It's a nice little thing to watch.
The VLN layout is you don't take the arena, and you also just turn right before you come to the first set of chicanes, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I don't think it's slowing them down some, because I mean it's only taking about 10 seconds off of them. Maybe. Yeah. If that. Unless I'm just chatting absolute baloney.
A good indicator is we did the RSR World Series GT3 races around here, and using the VLN setup, the fastest driver did sub 8-minute laps. We're doing 7:59s. When he came in a GTE at ILMS, which was the full layout, this layout today, he was only 2 seconds slower than what he was doing in a GT3. So, granted, they're different speeds, but that gives you an indication, really, of like what you're doing in terms, you know, what the pace difference is. So, it's really interesting to see.
I'm just looking there to see if the two GT1s, car number 13 and car number 11, Rosano and Manetri, have come back out. Yes, they have. You can just see the closing distance that Sylvain Moran has as they come past Rebel Tree. Car number 8, you know, it's a chunky boy, it's shouty boy, but compared to the slick DBR9, I think it's suffering in the corners somewhat, because the closing distance that it had coming through that section in particular was hilarious. Like, it's just caught up to it, and look at it again, it's caught up to it.
Actually, hang on, something's happened to Valenteas, because he was 3 seconds up at the start of after the first lap, and he's now only 2 seconds. So I was about to say, is that true, what you're saying about the Corvette? And looking at this, you know you're right. You know, it does take a lot of fuel. I think it was a case that if they went to 6 laps, there would be an issue that the Corvette would not be able to save enough fuel. But Morian's got a run on Muller right now as they come through. These corners are so tight. I think this is miss. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, I am right. And basically, Muller has to hit all of them, and Morian doesn't have anywhere to go. They're going to be side by side coming down this straight. They might touch. How close did they get? Close. But Morian, just like that, has got through. And at the same time, Raidillon wants through. And no, Muller had to put the brakes on. He had to slow down a little bit. The two VEC guys just get by him just like that pretty quickly. I'm surprised. But that closing speed, though, that
here comes bravery. Oh, he lifts just a little bit. He's not that brave. He's not that brave. Oh, by the way, we're getting copyright strike because they showed the Garfield logo.
Oh no! Oh no!
It is quite literally, unashamedly.
Raidillon went too hot. And I saw the smoking of the lockups there. Was struggling a little bit. They've come around the carousel. I just want to keep that gap at the front. Valentejas has maintained that 2.5 second gap, but it looks like he's just struggling a little bit, and Blom's just starting to find his rhythm a little bit. As is Gross as well. He's starting to catch up as well. So interesting to see.
I feel like the Corvettes are set up in such a way that they it maximizes their straight line speed, but you can just see in the corners and in the technical sections, I think the DBR9s are just flying away. Like, you know, Sylvain Moran, he had... No, sorry, it was Raidillon. He had issues at the start of this race, and he fell back the pecking order, and then you just see these guys just catch back up to something like Dan Muller, who he's not a slouch. He ain't no slouch. And he's not able to do anything because the DBR9s probably are just that good bit better in the slow stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you also got to remember that Dan Muller made the setup. I don't know if he made the VEC setup, but he is the community setup maker, and every week provides the community with the GT1 and GT2 setups, just to help. I mean, they're not even baseline plus; they are proper setups. He really puts the time in for them, so it has to be just a case of the car because Dan knows his stuff. You know, no one's going to say Dan doesn't know what he's doing. Has Finn marked at a moment? No, he's just got slowed down. My relative is all over the place.
Ooh, that goes Sydney Moran onto the gravel, just going up towards the second car. And still, that's going to cost him on the straights.
And he's losing the back again. But look at this. Morian's 0.4 of a second ahead. Razanahor is 0.4 of a second ahead of Muller. And we're coming onto the Dottinger Ho. What happened here? Now, will Muller get a bit of slipstream? Yes. Razanahor will get some slipstream. What about Morian? Morian's in a bit of trouble right now because they're so close coming down the Dottinger Ho. Let's watch this right now. I'm really curious to see the speeds they're going to hit.
Dan Muller is faster than the two of them.
Yeah, by about 5 kilometers an hour. But there you see Razanahor goes by Morian, and now what will Muller do? Muller will have to try and make a move himself. He goes by, but you know, Morian's just getting a little bit of slipstream, not going to help him. I don't think Muller's going to be able to talk. Yeah, Morian pulls away, knows it's a bit risky going up to Tiergarten, but Muller stays onto the back of Razanahor. So lap 2's over, advantageous. Blom, Gross, Marks, Razanahor, Muller, Morian.
Yeah, the GTEs, or the, sorry, I keep saying GTEs. GT2s, they are absolutely spaced out beyond the limits. The only gap that is less than 10 seconds is the gap between Brian Williams and Tiernan Kelly, which is 2.29 seconds. And it's going to be essentially who doesn't crash on the GT2s, which is unfortunate.
No, come on. We know what happened. We know what happened last time we did this race. We don't want that to happen again.
What happened? I can't remember.
Literally the final corners before Dottinger Ho, there was a free car crash that changed the result.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Now you remember, yeah. Also, this Corvette really is struggling. You know, Muller is losing time with Morian, going through the hairpin there. It just was not happy. It literally felt like a real-life Corvette when they make the joke that American muscle cars cannot turn. It was struggling through that hairpin.
Well, you know what they say. American muscle cars can't turn.
Really? I wonder if you said that. Right, we have an overtake. That's Kelly overtaking Williams at the back. It may be at 4P5, 4 and 5 in the forwards, but we still got to do it. And that was going up the Dottinger Ho into Tiergarten. So Kelly overtakes Williams. I don't think there's any damage on either car.
I think there is. I think there is damage on one of them. One of them definitely does have damage.
One of these is not like the other. No, I don't think there's any damage.
Unless it's just the camera playing tricks on me. It might be, to be fair.
No, there is damage. I put that there is damage. There is damage to Kelly. The front left has had a knock.
Yeah,
so you were right.
But they are still running though, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, but with a little bit of damage to the nose, he's still able to slipstream by Williams. That's some good driving there from the driver.
Dominic Gross, by the way, doing some good driving. He started in third and is still in third, and he's chasing down Amerik Blom. And the two of them are now 4.4 seconds behind Andreas Valentijas.
Oh god, every time I watch him though, I literally flick to him and he was sliding through the flue pads. He goes down, he goes around the hill, going down into, I believe that was Kallenhag, or no, that was Aaron. Was it? No, it was Arenberg, sorry. Mm-hmm. And he was just taking some bumps. It almost looked like he was doing rallycross. He just almost felt like he was 4 wheels off the road at one stage. Really is scary, but doing the job. And catching Blom, that's key. That is very key. Had a good chance to catch him earlier on, but was unable to. Let's go back to this battle, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Razanahora, Muller, Morian. Muller's got it going right at the moment. Holding on. Got it going right as they're coming up to the Rebel Tree. Always wait for the Rebel Tree people. Hi, Rebel Tree. We'll
Bye,
see you
Rebel
in two
Tree.
more laps. Yeah, see you in 2 more laps.
Two more
keeps
laps.
on going. Keeps on going. But he's not struggling at the moment like he was last lap. Maybe that is because he has got some slipstream. Well, slipstream, good. Dirty air, bad. But you kind of want to be following somebody around here just for that advantage, I reckon.
Well,
so,
he wants to keep the car with Sylvain Moraine behind him, and then see if he can attack Jonathan ahead of him, and just see if he can, divide and conquer really at this stage, because he, as we mentioned before, that he was having severe difficulties keeping up with the DBR9s, so the car number 9 and 10, through the technical sections of this track. And it's like you were mentioning before that Andreas Valentijas, the car number 1, was sliding all over the place. He wasn't able to keep the car on track. He wasn't able, well, as when I say car on track, he wasn't able to keep the car straight and narrow on the racing line on the track. He was sliding around, and you could just, when I'm looking at the DBR9, it is a lot more pointed. It's a lot less like it's going to sliding and ruin your day.
Well, I mean, British engineering. God save the Queen. That's all I can say. Hip, 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 tally ho. As we see an Uwu 7 Ford, I like it. I like this. Remember, the community requested a smaller split size. I think the split was like 45 or 50 cars.
It was 50 cars before, now it's 35 cars.
35. And we only hit something that high twice last season. So the lower numbers would be great. So a couple guys might be a bit upset that there's no... Literally, we were one sign-up over. One sign-up made the difference.
Oh no! We've just had Sylvain Moraine going into the wall. Just have a look at this. Have a look at this.
Oh!
The poor carousel says no. Ooh.
Yeah, but he loses it before the carousel, hits the inside curb, and that causes more damage than him hitting the wall.
Yeah.
If I'm brutally honest.
Yeah. Have a look at this. We're just going to put it into rear chase now. Look at the front right of his car. Slides. Oh, sorry, front left. And then, ooh. Yeah, that carousel.
Oy.
That carousel did very nasty things to the front end of his car.
It wasn't even a case... Oh, hang on. Was that Raidillon going wide? No. It wasn't even a case there of Morian getting thrown out of the car. At the carousel, sorry. It was more the fact that he already lost it before going into the carousel. Simply put.
Dominique Gross chasing down, and he's actually coming into slipstream range of Amir Blom. But the two of them are still not anywhere near to the car number 1 of Valentijas. It's just not... the dots are not aligning. The stars are not there. The light's out in the hallway, and we need a new bulb captain.
A new bulb? You do realise that if we go to red level, I'll have to change the light bulb? The gap is 1 second. Sorry, I couldn't resist that red dwarf joke. Gap it 1 second. Raidillon and Muller still going there side by side. Sorry, coming out the second carousel. Raidillon had a moment there, or has he? No, yeah, he went off. He went off after the second carousel. It threw him out. He hit the wall. He's lost his mirror, and it just holds up. There was nowhere for Muller to go. He had to hit the brakes pretty fast. But now they're going. Muller is way ahead of Raidillon, and Morian is just going to go. Do you want me to have a go? And he might do that, but he's not close enough to make a move.
I would like to point out that even with slipstream, because of the damage that both of those cars had, they're still slower than Dan Muller. Dan Muller is actually pulling away. He's actually a second and a half ahead of the two of them now, and I say he's got some smooth sailing sneakers on him today, because as long as he can keep it on the straight and narrow, he'll be fine.
Yeah, Valentine. It's also this is the we've got about stadium. There is no stadium on this 24-hour layout. Valenteus listed a 7:59.985. And there goes Razanahora. He realizes hitting that wall as hard as he did, that he needs to pit. So he will go into the pits, and that's unfortunate there for Jonathan.
Uh-oh. Problem. Poor car 15 of Brian Williams. Losing control, coming past. Ooh, that is up towards one of, I think that's one. No, that's not YouTube corner. It is the corner just before YouTube corner. Or the section just before YouTube corner. And look at him. He's just not able to control the car on the road. Oh. That is a buggered
yeah, well, a few corners before he lost the car. And that's when he lost the wing. And now he's just going down with no wing whatsoever. I don't even know how you could drive with no wing at the moment.
He's got massive suspension. Look at the bodywork. It's literally grabbing the... There's YouTube corner. If YouTube corner was there, he'd have his cameras up. And we just see Dominic Gross.
He blinks again and goes into the wall. He goes into the wall again. There's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can... Literally, the tyres are out. He's almost turned that into a late model. Yeah, he's towed. And the 15 unfortunately had towed. A lot of damage.
I mean, would you tow first and then, like, let's say you had an incident like what he had, where he just lost control of the car and he hit the wall and he's lost his rear wing. Do you tow at that point, or do you just try and keep going and see if you can make it back to the pits?
I mean, the thing was, you were so close to the end. You were about, what, 10, 15 corners away from getting to the Dottinger Hoe, and then you would have been there. But by the looks of it, it was just too much for exactly the damage he had. And the moment he lost that wing, he was dead in the water. So unfortunately, there was not much he could do there, which is a shame. But that is the way it goes, unfortunately.
Fabian Minetri in the pits. I'm assuming he's in his box. I don't see that he actually joined his box on our timing sheet here, but I'll assume he did. And I'm just looking now and seeing...
Ooh, what's happened to Matthew Boyce? Sorry, something's happened to Matthew Boyce, and he's gone very slow. A lot of damage coming out the second carousel. Same thing, he got thrown out that second carousel, and he's got a lot of damage. He has, and I wouldn't be surprised if his wheel is not straight, and yeah.
Ooh,
literally, I'm in his cockpit, and I can hear rubbing.
Yeah, actually, let's go into his cockpit and give you the first-hand experience, just to show you guys what it means to be a Ford driver.
Oh, he's got 3 wheels. His front right is not touching the floor.
Oh. Okay. That's. I can hear the scraping. I can literally hear the scraping.
It's not touching the floor.
Can I get a chase where I can see?
I'm in the right front suspension. The wheel's not moving. And all I can hear is just that suspension going.
Oh, that wheel is actually not turning. The wheel's not turning.
Yeah. Oh, it's not touching. It's just not. Okay.
It's not turning at all. Like, it's literally dragging. Let's have a look at if we can see. It's the... Oh. Yeah, okay, so his wheel's detached. That is not meant to happen. He's currently going 45... Oh, he's making it back. Let's have a look. That's, that wheel shouldn't be still there. It should have exploded by now, but he's made it to the pits, but, unfortunately, it looks like his race is over.
Yeah, I'll tell you whose race isn't over. Dominic Gross. He is making his moves now on Blom. He was a 2.5 seconds faster last lap. He did a 8-minute flat point 999 compared to Blom's 8:02.273. He's catching him as they come around. It looks like they just got by Bravery. Coming up to the right-hander. Yep, he's slowly coming up to the right-hander before the carousel. The gap has dropped to half a second. Dominic is making some moves, and it's great to see these. This is the first time we've seen the Progressive Sim Racing team. The two of them come out today. That's Gross and Mark. So nice to see them racing, and they're really giving a battle here to the VEC driver of Blom at the moment. Coming out the carousel, good exit there for Gross. He can't really do much at the moment, though.
No, it'd be literal, you know, murder-suicide if they tried to make a move here. If Gross tried to make a move, unless Blom had essentially gone wide, you know, Looney Tunes slow motion style, and he was able to just zip on by, but it's not going to happen, I don't think. And you can just see how technical it is. We're looking on Blom's car backwards towards Dominic Gross, and you can just see how car number 2 is having to essentially follow dirty air while at the same time keeping his car somewhat straight. To see how much twitching is happening right now.
Yeah, coming in around the YouTube corner as we come now. We'll be hitting very shortly the Flatsgarten. Up the hill they go, and they'll be coming down shortly to the second carousel once they come. Oh no, they've still got a couple of corners to come. I'm a corner early, I'm a corner premature. Here's YouTube corner. Now they'll be hitting the Flatsgarten. I do apologise. Coming down, the gap is 0.7. Gross just holding on. Just doesn't need to be so aggressive so early. And he knows that if he stays inside this 1 second area, he's got a chance at the end of the Dottinger Hull to make a move on Blom. Especially if it's lap 4 or 5, so he's got to start thinking about it this lap or the next lap. The only real overtaking places on the track he will have as Blom goes a little bit wide, gets thrown out the second carousel and hits the grass. That's not going to help him. This might be Dominic's move right now. We'll see as they come around the final corners into the Dottinger Ho. They go flat out. Now goes Blom. Blom got flat out a little bit better. He had a good exit on the apex, but Gross is still only 0.3 of a second behind. Blom will have to defend. Will have to defend well, and Gross is just accepting it. He's just waiting. He's just waiting. He's not even in a slipstream. You might want to do that, Dominic. Let me help you. Now he gets in the slipstream. Now where does Blom go? Blom is making... Is he lifting?
He lifted, yeah.
Gross is not making the move. Sorry. If he got into the slipstream earlier instead of being in the middle of the track, I think he may have had that move done. But he decided against it for some reason. As we start the final lap, Valentajos is already there, starting the final lap now. Will be a white flag, but you know, taking an eternity to get there. The gap is 0.4 of a second. This will be the battle we need to keep our eyes on. There are other battles going on, of course. Raidillon Horror went into the pit. Hop is still out there. No gaps elsewhere at the moment, unfortunately. So this is the battle we will try and keep our eyes on as everyone starts crossing the line. Valentajos goes faster again, by the way, at 7:59.580.
While we're waiting for that to happen, I just want to have a look at this car, the number 1. Oh dear, oh dear.
Hey.
His helmet says something. Hang on. Oh
no!
Oh my good gracious! Oh dear.
Howdy, partner! We're gonna be going around the Nordschleife today. I sure hope everything's gonna be fine. I got myself my moonshine and I'm gonna be going around this green hell. That's all I can think about right now, seeing that outfit.
He's got Donkey from Shrek. It's the sun. The Italian flags. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Okay, Kona shot. Joaquin, I love you. Yeah, the cake bonus. Amazing. Exit battle between Blom and Gross. I can't stop laughing at a guy with a hillbilly style dress up suit and the weirdest mismatch of a helmet ever in the history of iRacing. I mean, take that, Nick Cage face.
You can just
I'm lost for words.
Yeah. I'm trying not to have a brain fart, but I'm having a brain fart because it's literally like, remember the Nicolas Cage helmet that we saw during the...
Yeah, like I was saying, yeah.
See that one was funny because A, it was Nicolas Cage, and B, it actually had a meaning. That is literal livery vomit. It actually hurts to process that helmet exists.
I don't even know what to say.
Just Smile and wave. Smile and wave.
Smile. We'll go back. The battle between Blom and Gross. We'll keep eyes on other battles, but at the moment it's a 10-second gap between Gross and Marks. Then it's 13 seconds back for Muller, 3.5 seconds back for Hop, 6 seconds back for Morian, and Piva, Razanhora, and Rosano are all way away from each other and everybody else. Meanwhile, the GT2s, Walkup is 23 seconds ahead. Overguard, sorry, 23 seconds ahead of Walkup, who is then 28 seconds himself away ahead of Bass. Then it's 45 seconds to Kelly and 2 minutes for there's only 4 guys sadly left, well, really fighting the race. Thomas Blankenship's still out there, by the way. He crashed first lap. He's just out there.
He out there, he vibing. So currently on the lead, oh well, actually no, they're all except for Fabian, who's not on the lead lap. The rest of them are on lead laps that are still running. Matthew Boyce and Brian Williams are the only 2 fully retired cars. The rest of them are still running fine and still battling to see if they can gain positions. Now, Jeremy Hoppe is looking to see if he can catch Dan Muller. He was 2 seconds faster than Dan Muller in the last lap, so Dan Muller is going to have to continue trying his best as he's picking up the pace here. He's coming down towards, this is miss. Well, he hit that one. Hit. Well, okay, so he hit all of them.
He hit all of them.
Yeah,
you could say that Dan has to muller over his choices of what corners to make.
Get out. Get out immediately.
Yeah. But yes, this is. Sorry, I'm sorry. If we had webcams, he'd be staring at me evilly right now. But the gap between Blom and Gross has gone to 1.4 seconds as they're coming up to, I believe they're coming up to Bravery very shortly.
Yes, they are. They're coming up
Blom
towards
is about
Bravery.
to hit Bravery. Yeah, he's about to hit Bravery. What will he do? Will he be brave? Of course, no, he doesn't. I don't think you can be brave in these things, but we'll see.
Yeah, you can.
Gross is brave. Gross was brave. Look at it. He's gained time on Blom.
Yeah, you can be brave. You just need to take your brave pills. Keep your foot in it. Also, I agree with Ryan when he says. He said that you're not sorry, Craig.
No,
not a sausage. You delight. You delight in it.
Oh, Blom took a very shot. Did he almost? I think Blom hit the inside curb there of the carousel. Didn't get any damage from it, but it did compromise him coming out of the carousel, and that sets up Gross to do his thing and start attacking again. This feels like the last lap coming around. That was Whipperman, I believe. Yes, that was Whipperman. Well, okay. Now they're into Whipperman and then into X-Back. But doing the best I can. I apologize for my German, by the way. My German is really bad. I'll work on it.
I think that both of us have really bad German. It's gross, by the way.
Oh, it's gross. Yeah, sorry. I know what it's meant to be, but I keep saying it wrong.
I love how there's an advertisement for the M4 GT or the M4 DTM, the BMW. We've not got it. We've only got the M4 GT4.
Shout out to BMW though, winning the Nurburgring 24 Hours today. A huge achievement. Unfortunately, Mercedes did have their accidents, and Audi had a couple bad incidents as well. But for the BMW to finally get back on that, 10 years since they last won the Nurburgring 24 Hours, so it's a great achievement for the BMW Works team. But there's no BMWs here. Valenteja coming around the second carousel, so he's just going to have a couple corners left into the Dossingen-Ho and Tiergarten, and he will be fine. But this battle right now is heating up between Blom and Gross. Gross had a better line than I think Blom must have had a bit of a miscue there. But now the gap is 0.4 of a second coming around the same corners I was just talking about for Valentejas. Comes around one more, and it's a bit of a lift from Gross. And more flat out there from Blom. So now comes the slipstream. Blom will try and break that toe as much as he legally can, and to be fair, he's doing the best he can. Gross is fact catching. He is catching. The gap is now 0.3. The gap may be 0.2. He will not have to lift this time. He will try and make a move. What does he do? Blom realizes this. He stopped the weaving. Now he goes for one more weave. He wants the inside of the little kink on the dotting a hoe. They're going to be on side by side. He's made a mistake, hasn't he? They're side by side going up to the hill right now. Contagious has won the race, but we're keeping an eye on this. Let's go.
No!
And Beats is in the wall. And so it's Blom. Road to quitted 3 walls. He's gone further. The judges give him the benefit there. The long jump. Trying to get going. Who goes first? This is Toad. Toad. Blom is going to take P2. But Finn Marks, no, Finn Marks might have this. Finn Marks, Blom's hit the wall again. And Marks has been very careful. He will drag race the injured Blom to the line. It is a progressive sim racing car that takes P2, but it's not Dominic Gross. It's Finn Marks and Merrick Blom taking P3.
Just to give you an idea of what exactly happened, this is Merrick Blom weaving all the way down the back end on Dossinger's. Yes, I was getting it right the first time.
Dossinger Ho, yeah.
Yeah, and that is Dominic Gross on the and just that's a lot of damage. Where's Phil Swift with his tape when you need them?
I'm trying to just like see what has happened.
Look at this. Look at this on the static. Oh dear.
Oh, that's a lovely camera. Wow.
Did you just see the wheel? Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
I need to do this.
Hey. Rob, can I just say, you're gonna need to save that replay because that has to go into the Raidillon TV intro video.
Yeah, and you can just see. Oh, they're off camera. Merrick Blom hits the wall. Oh, there goes one of his wheels. Whee! Look at the wheel just slowly going by. And that is how Dominic Gross unfortunately had his race ended on him. Nothing he could have done. And I think that is the majority of the...
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Well, I mean...
Because we've still got... We've got the Fords.
Yeah,
because Stefan Overgaard is about to cross the line.
Yeah, I was going to say the majority of the GT1s across the line, and here's the leader of the GT2s coming to take his W. He's not slowing down.
Then you know what's interesting?
Oh no,
you gotta think about this right now. Where is Rosano? Where is Razanahora? There is 9 minutes and 35 seconds.
He's still... He's on the Dottinger. He's
yeah,
just coming up
if he overtakes, that'll be another position loss for Gross. In fact, he's got a possibility of losing 2 positions here because Fabian Menentri is a lap down. So he has a chance here. Is going from 10th. Yeah, he was 4th. Third. Sorry, and he's going to be finishing.
He will finish a lap down due to convention. So he'll finish 10th because Federico or Rosano is still running.
That's unfortunate. I've got to be brutally honest. That is unfortunate. Wow.
What's wrong with Rosano's car? That is not a healthy sounding car whatsoever.
I cannot tell you. Everything looks fine to me.
Ethan Bass crossing the line, so that seals the top 3. Stefan Warkup, well done to you. 2nd place for him. I'm assuming that Ford GT never ran in the Blancpain.
The Blancpain? No.
Well then, Tim Ranchetti gets my award for Curse livery because he's running a Blancpain liveried Ford GT GT2. Oh, he's gone up in the grass.
I'm just watching that replay back from that incident, and it's very interesting to see. And I think the winner of the race, he reviewed it, and I think it's a thing. Just call it a little bit of net cloud.
Net cloud.
A little bit of net cloud and a racing incident. I think is the best thing.
I think what we'll do is get the results on tap.
Yes, let's do it, because your winner of the race in his debut, nevertheless, Andreas Valentinus has taken the win in the Nordschleife. Finn Marks, with that crazy finish, comes home in P2. Merrick Blom gets P3. Then it's Dan Muller in a surprising P4. Jeremy Hopp in 5. Savan Morian in 6th. Felipe Paiva in 7th. Now that's the top GT1s to the GT2s quickly. Stefan Overgaard will take the win in the GT2s with Stefan Walkup behind him in P2. Then we've got Razan Ahura, who had that crash early. He lost his wing mirror, lost the side of the car, came back out. He will take P8 for the GT1s. Ethan Bass will take the 3rd for the GT2s. And Dominic Gross will finish 9th after everything that's happened. Well, no, it will be 10th because there is 6 minutes left and Rosano is still up there. As is Turner Kelly, who's just crossed the line. He will take P4 in the GT2s. So Dominic Gross, then, as we were saying, when 9th will be 10th once Federico Rosano crosses the line coming up to Tiergarten. So he will take P. Well, Rosano will take P9. Gross will take P10. You'll see that very quickly. Blankenship, then, in the Fords, will take 5th. He's still out there. He'll be the last car to finish. Manentry finished a lap down, as did Matthew Boyce, who's still out there about finishing, and Brian Williams, who parked it early as well. So 3 cars are going to be finishing a lap down.
Now, I think what we'll do is not give a driver of the day. We'll give it a series of the day, because I did like the little fights that were going on. A shame that it ended the way it did, of course, but it was still good to see fights going through the GT1 field. GT2s, they separated out, but at the start they were definitely getting their hands dirty. But as you can see on Matthew Boyce's car, it's not looking good on his end. Oh yeah, there he goes again. Oh dear.
Has he gone again?
Yeah, he went into the wall.
Oh no. The car just said no, and massive damage. Is he? Yeah, again, is that wheel not touching again or not rolling?
Yeah, I guarantee you it is.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yep. So that's the second GT2 that's had its right front damaged, and
he's going 216 kilometers an hour down the Dottinger Hoe. He's now losing speed because he can't keep it straight. There are 4 minutes and 40 seconds. He's the last car to finish, by the way. Blankenship, I think, has just finished. So, as always, we always like following the last car because, let's be honest, this is the series for everybody. Coming around the final bit of the Dottinger Hoe, he will make it in time. It will not be classed as a retirement, but he's going really slow. It's 3 wheels on his wagon, basically. Holds it. Gets through Tiergarten. Going really slow, actually. I think
he's not got a right front. He's essentially driving on 3. You can just... He's still going. He's still going. He just needed to line up for the pit straight.
The last car to cross the line will be Matthew Boyce.
That poor right wheel. There we go. He's just crossed the line. Now.
Yay!
And he's just like, I need to pull this thing over and get out before it explodes. Oh. But yeah, that was a really good race. It was interesting to see the way that how would I put it, the new splitting system or the new split limit worked, because it gave a, like, it's the Nordschleife, and it'll give the 2 pockets of classes their own breathing space. So
and not only that as well, like you said, the 2 different pockets of their breathing space, because the GT2s do have that issue. With no offense to everybody, it's great to see this community grow, but you get these drivers that are not the same pace as the GT2s. So you get the first bit of the lap, and we've commentated on it a few times, where the GT2s are compromising their battles because they're having to get around a GT1, which is a shame. But it's the way it happens, unfortunately. But this is good. and unfortunately, having it split at the Nurburgring was probably not the best thing for it to happen for the first time to happen.
No.
But it was still a good thing to happen for the series.
Yeah, of course.
Nevertheless, so that will be fun to see, because I believe next week. Where do we go next week, Rob? I will tell you once everything loads up, because I do know that we will be going to Indianapolis.
Yeah, and that would be
going
good.
To Indianapolis.
Yeah, that'd be good, because it'd be the first time either of us have commentated on Indianapolis. It's not too difficult. It's not like the 100 million billion corners of the Nordschleife. It's got some pedigree.
It's gonna be a fun race. Definitely gonna be a fun race. But I must admit, I think we should bid adieu, because I love these cameras presented by trackcams22.com. But what I do love even more is if you hit that subscribe button on YouTube or the follow button on Twitch, because that will do us some fantastic publicity, as well as hitting that thumbs up button. You can check us out on our Discord. We can provide you links if you want to get involved in the GT Challenge to the Fanatec GT Challenge Discord. If you like more of us, tell everybody. We've got a league coming back up soon on a Wednesday night. The RSR World Series is coming back soon. But until then, we'll be back next Friday for some ILMS on Super Friday, as IMSA follows after us. And then we'll be back next week for Indianapolis on the Sunday. So until then, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you, and I'll let Rob take it away.
Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in. Appreciated it as always. As Craig said, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube and on Twitch. If you have a spare few quid, would consider, and are feeling generous, consider supporting us. Links are in the description if you want to donate. And really, it's good to see that the Fanatec GT Challenge is definitely having more than one split. It's a good sign to see. And I hope you guys enjoyed our commentary as much as we talked about Garfield. It can still never beat the Ka-Chow. Until next week, guys, take care and enjoy yourselves.